Hello, I'm Emmy Rice. I just wanted to say a quick introduction and say hello so you know I'm a real person teaching this class. So, welcome to Graphic Design 1. You should be enrolled in AR 223, and I will be your primary instructor through this semester. I wanted to take a second and show you a little bit around D2L, our online course system, so that you know exactly where our projects are and where the calendar is and how to stay on track of everything. This time I'm going to show you a little bit about our online class. This is where we will meet, and the way I've structured it is that every week you have a deadline or a reason to come check in with us. Make sure that you are active online, and I expect you all to participate in discussion and keep in touch if anything's not working correctly. My email is emmy.rice@washburn.edu. And I wanted to take a second to show you a couple quick things. Your interface may look slightly different than mine because I believe D2L lets you each customize that interface. But it should be the similar or same kind of things that you're looking for. So one piece of advice people have mentioned is to make sure your notifications are turned on. That way you stay on top of any new course announcements or briefs. So, and what you will find is a section here called announcements. This is where you will hear from me a lot. I will either post a quick message or a video introducing you to the weekly module. Over here, content browser, this is where our projects are. This is right here the list of projects you will complete this semester. And as the semester progresses, each of these sections will be filled in with content. Don't be surprised if there's nothing in a folder. That's usually on purpose and will fill in as the date approaches. That's because I would like you to stay on track and focused on the current module without getting too far ahead. One thing I wanted to mention too is we have here a calendar. This is actually your list of dates for the entire semester, and I will add detail as the weeks progress. But what you'll find is most weeks on the Monday, something is due, and that's to help us both keep track of what all of you are doing and not let too much change or progress without any feedback from me. So you can see this calendar in terms of a month, week, and you'll see right now there's some like a vague skeleton of a calendar date and some directions on what to do on that Monday. It's important to remember that even though we are an online class, you do have dates and deadlines to stay on top of. I want to show you that there are two places where you will turn in your course content and files. This is basically where you turn in your projects and your process work as things are due. The first is here under communication. You'll come down to discussions. Here you will see a list of discussion. I may start a thread or a post. You are free, I think, at all times to also start a post. This can be a discussion between the class, it can be between me and the class, and you will see that all of us should be coming in and out and moderating and commenting on being active in the discussion list. At times I may have you just turn in your text files, any kind of reading response or question that you're answering quickly here. You also have some possibility to include images when you participate in discussion lists, so it should work well for us. The second place where you turn in more formal finished work is here. If you go to Assessments Assignment, you'll see a submission folder for each thing that you're doing. These are organized by reading responses, any process work, and any final files down here. Each of these should allow you to upload files as you need to. I'm going to show you a few supplies and tools that you're going to use this week, and we're going to talk a little bit about what you're about to start doing. Things that you should purchase and buy to help you succeed in this class. It's not a very long list, and it's some quick things that I think you can get. First is some pencils. This is some of my favorite pencils. This is Dixon Ticonderoga, very affordable. They are labeled as the best pencil in the world, but I do like them. I've used them for quite a while. This past year, I upgraded, although this is a little harder to find. This is also a pencil I like, Palomino Blackwing. This is a pencil of Illustrators. You can like flip out or switch out the eraser when you need to. It's also like a nice pencil. Black markers. You're going to want this coming right up this week. I don't like much fancy. This is Sharpie. This is actually a thinner point than what I would use for this project this week. I would just use a standard Sharpie project. You also could get a Sharpie chisel, they call it, I think, and it's going to give you this kind of edge where it's not exactly a point, it's a like flat broad nib edge. This marker is one of my favorites. This is much more expensive though. This is Copic, COPIC. The nice thing about this marker though, I think these are like $8 a marker, is you have a brush nib on one side and the chisel broad nib on the other. I recommend these, although they are more expensive, and you can definitely use a Sharpie this week. The last thing you're going to want to do coming up in a couple weeks is start to get your Adobe Creative Cloud set up, and we will primarily use Adobe Illustrator for this class, although you won't need that this week.